Man, you gotta pull call up. He might not say nothing, but let him. Hold on.
Okay. Let me know when I can, because I don't know how to do.
You got the floor.
Okay. So let me explain what's going on with me. So basically, this is why I posted what I posted the other day. I'm gonna try to make a long story short, but I'm known for making a short story long. But just to make a long story short, at the beginning of the year, I had a friend of mine at the time who was actively accusing Karen of stealing her podcast rollout and her podcast name, just basically making an ode to what she had already formed. She felt like the podcast name was too similar and the podcast rollout was similar. And there were a lot of things going on just behind the scenes between a lot of the people that are on the Joe Budden podcast and other female podcasters, which it's not my story to share. So I'll keep, if they ever want to come forward, they can, and they can talk about how a lot of things were stolen from them. But so when this happened, at the time, there had been other things that people were accusing her of stealing. And we all have heard the Cameron, we all have heard the Joyner Lucas, but even within the industry too, like I'm in small circles, especially small Haitian circles, like we've heard about, even like when it comes to Haiti, just how she's able to finesse, Haitian funds that are raised as well, okay? A couple years back, she had a quote-unquote playground that she quote-unquote built in Haiti, and if you notice, you don't see anything about that. You haven't heard any results of that playground being built. You haven't heard any results of those kids. Like, you've never heard anything else, but she was in all these articles about that, and she got her publicity, and that's that. Meanwhile, you don't know what happened with that playground, the school, the kids, nothing, okay? So I think I just was very fed up, and I wasn't saying anything, but what was happening was she was contacting mutual people that we have in the business that are Haitian, and she was telling them not to fuck with me, okay? Because I was hanging around the girl that was accusing her of stealing her podcast rollout, okay? So that's when I got fed up, because I was like, wow, I'm not saying anything, I'm staying out of it, I know all this other information. What I did was I told her, listen, you need to approach this as a grown woman. Tell her you didn't steal from her. Invite her on your platform. Like, this is how you should deal with it. She's like, no, the girl's beneath me. I do what I want. I say what I want. Like, that's just her attitude. She feels everybody is beneath her. And so when she started just basically trying to bully me from the industry point, like calling people and telling them not to fuck with me, that's when I got fed up. And so she was doing these backhanded compliments like, oh, can people, suggest podcasts that I should listen to? And I suggested the podcast of my homegirl. So when I did that, she got pissed off. So we exchanged words, and that was that. But then, if you know her, she's very good at throwing rocks, hiding her hand, and then using other people to kind of attack you. So that's what she was doing on Twitter, and I was like, listen, she used this one girl that I knew, and I was like, listen, you better go back to Karen, and you better let her know that she doesn't want this. I'm not the one. I'm hell on wheels. Please don't do this.
How did she use the
And
girl?
so basically, she had her come into my mentions and say certain things. So when I told the girl that, then Karen jumped on Twitter, and she's like, oh, if I were you, I would look at your pinned tweet. She said something like, look at your pinned tweet, like basically like to tell me, like, she gave me my pinned tweet. My pinned tweet was me singing the Star Spangled Banner at a Clippers game last year during the pandemic, and I paid $700 for that. I never said anything about that. I never aired her out for that. I paid $700 for that. For me, the only reason why I never said anything negatively about it is because it was good content for me. Did it make TV? No. Did it make the blogs? No. But it was good content for me, so people could see that I could sing, and I moved forward. So when she said that to me, I was like, okay, well, I'm singing because people know that I can sing. What is your talent besides stealing? And so because I tweeted that,
hold on, listen, hold on, listen. because this is a real room right here, right? And, you know, I really don't fuck with Karen, but I ain't really got nothing against her. But I will say this. If y'all gonna speak in this room, make sure what you're talking about is supporting these accusations. Because if she charged you to place you somewhere and you agree to that fee, that's just what that is, right? But if like, because you fucking with a reputable name and some real serious allegations, so whatever the personal shit is one thing. But if you can't come and speak on how she took some funds from you and didn't provide a service, right? Even the fact that you showed them a podcast or showed them an idea, at the end of the day, that's your bad business because they supposed to sign something before you even did that. Hopefully you learn from that, right? But if you not going to support what this title is in this room, then don't speak on it because she got a platform where she going to use that against you. I'm telling y'all right now. If you're not talking about what she took from y'all and didn't provide a service, she's going to use it against you and then it'll all go away.
I'll say this real quick.
I don't think that's the thing. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I'm about to say, first of all, you know why everybody's asking me to come on stage? It's because this all trickled from me telling everybody that she extorted me for $3.5 million, sir. So,
right.
You know, so exactly. So that's what I was going to get to. I was just giving you a background. So basically, because I tweeted that, she then created a fake event. She created a fake company, created a fake event, emailed me using Facebook, Sierra, saying that I was going to host a Facebook Live with Sierra on women empowerment. Okay, I get to the event. There was no event. She had someone record me, and they served me with a 3.5 defamation suit to the sum of